So traders, the selling is continuing to happen, which was expected if you've been watching my videos. I'm going to do a quick little update across the markets for what's happening right now. There's the bloodbath continues in the markets, and I believe it's going to get a lot worse. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, if you haven't done so yet, if you are struggling with your trading right now, guys, make sure you grab that free trading course in the link in the description. Guys, I actually used to try. I used to charge for this trading course, right? People used to pay for this trading course, and I'm giving it away for free as a bit of a Christmas gift and so on and so forth. So if you need help, go get that. Especially if you are losing a lot of money, you're making a lot of mistakes, and you don't know what they are. The very first video is going to give you a lot of light bulbs. Let alone the chart reading techniques, the mindset techniques. My number one trading strategy. I'm going to teach you my trading strategy for free. All that sort of stuff. Again, just go get the help you need. Okay, guys. Link in the description. So guys, traders, we are continuing to sell off in the markets. Looking at the S&P 500 right now, we are seeing that we are continuing to sell off through here. And it was really interesting, traders, because I was talking in the last few weeks of doing my analysis. I've talked about the roller coaster pattern, right? I'm like, there's a roller coaster pattern developing, and I call the roller coaster pattern because what tends to happen is this. Is that it's like a roller coaster, right? Roller coaster goes up the hill, and then guess what happens? It goes up, 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 up. Especially at the start of those roller coasters, right? You know when you're at the start, it goes tick, 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 and it tick, 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 all the way up, and then it flattens out, and then and then you right, and then you get the big drop. I call this the roller coaster pattern in the markets. Now, guys, put it this way: I just come up with that this week here because I'm like, oh, that's actually a bit like a roller coaster, right? That's how a roller coaster is. So I just come up with that this week. It's not like, oh, I coined that 6 years ago. No, I just came up because it is like a roller coaster. And the reason why is I've actually seen this type of pattern many times before. If we go up sideways, and then we actually drop through here. And so you can actually see the roller coaster pattern that's actually been forming. The roller coaster pattern's been forming on the S&P 500 here, right? So we're going up, flattening out, and then now look what's happening, right? We're starting to roll over through here, and we're continuing down on this S&P 500 chart. If we go to the hourly chart, we are continuing to go down to fill this gap. I was saying as this market was going sideways that we're probably going to come down and fill this gap, and now we're still got still got just over an hour left of doing this recording on this day anyway, so that's where it is right now. But we're probably going to come down and fill this gap through here on the S&P 500. You can see what's going on there. So if we go have a look at the Dow Jones as well too, Dow Jones again the same sort of thing, right? What have we got? We've got the roller coaster pattern as well on the good old DJ. So market goes up, flattens out, and then we start to see the movement on the downside, and that's the support level through there, right? So we have a movement up sideways, and then we could start to see the sell off here. So traders, and the whole thing about this, guys, is that what I want you to do is I want you to put your, and especially the men there, right? The ladies, especially Heather. Heather, my darling, I'm really grateful for your support, Heather. If you're watching this right now, Heather. You've been a really big follower, and also you comment a lot on my YouTube videos as well too, and you're always positive and you're always supportive, and I'm really I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful for people like you, Heather, who are just always supportive and so on and so forth, and I really take notice of that. So thank you so much, and I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So the market goes up, we flatten out, and then now we've actually started to see the drop, right? So again, on the Dow Jones, we're probably going to come back down towards the 32,000, and then that's going to be the key of, are we actually going to start an upward trend? Because all I was saying, especially on the Dow Jones, is that we're not out of the woodworks yet, right? Because what I mean by that is we could go up sideways, we could get a drop down into here, then form a higher low, go up. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But what I was saying is we're probably going to get a drop in the markets, and that's exactly what's actually happened through there, right? Let's go look at the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq, once again, just the same thing, guys. I've been saying there's no Santa Claus rally. I had one comment on my video yesterday saying I still believe Santa Claus is going. I still believe there's going to be a Santa Claus rally. I'm like, well, Santa Claus better get his act together because it's like 5 days before Christmas, and the Nasdaq's almost at its lows for the year. So I think a lot of people were harping on or betting on this Santa Claus rally phenomenon, right? See, that is one of the biggest mistakes out there, right? As a trader, is they look at this and they say, oh well, there's the Santa Claus rally phenomenon, and because the market did have a bit of an upward move, they suckered most people in thinking, oh, the market's going to continue up because of the Santa Claus rally. Here we go. But if you take away that saying or that thing, which is the Santa Claus rally, right? If you take away that, and then but then you actually just remove that, and then you just look at the market as is. The market's telling you what's going on, right? And I've been saying for quite some time that even on the Nasdaq didn't even give us the Santa Claus the roller coaster pattern. At least the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones did what? It went up and then flattened out. As the market did that and it flattened out, it's saying that the upward move is slowing, and because we're in an overall downward trend, especially on the S&P 500, we were expecting at least some form of a pullback. Now, it may not be a big pullback to all-time new lows on the other indices, but you're likely to get some form of a pullback, right? And that's what I've been trying to teach you guys as well too. And traders, what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to help you become a much better trader in these markets, right? Because there is no guarantees of you making money on any given one trade, right? And I really do mean that. So, but what we can do, we can start to just use some common sense, but also abide by how the markets work. And then we can start to make much better decisions. And some of those decisions is not to take a trade, right? Some of those decisions are like, okay, we're probably, because we actually went up, we're probably going to get a pullback here. So now's the wrong time to take a trade, right? If I could just stop you guys from taking 50% of your bad trades, now we're actually starting to move forward, right? And then we can start to scoop up some really good positive trades, and now we start to get the momentum inside of you. That's all I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to stop you from getting in at probably low probability times and start to look for high probability times in the market. That's all it is, traders, right? My goal is just to serve you and support you along your trading journey, because over my last almost 19 years of trading the markets, and again, in that free trading course, guys, you learn so much from me. And again, I give you my #1 trading system for free. I teach you my #1 trading system for free. I give it to you, right? It's like, here's the trading system. Go out there and start trading it. Here's my #1 chart reading techniques. Here's how I trade it. Here's my management. Here's the mindset techniques that I use. Here's the biggest mistakes that I've actually had to stop doing. And here's how I overcome them. I use them in the trading course below, right? So then the market's pulled back. And then we get going from there in the markets as well too. Let's go have a look at the good old gold and silver. Silver's actually sort of flattening out through here. I was saying this in yesterday's update that it looks like silver and gold could quite possibly have a bit of a pullback here, because we are starting to flatten out a little bit. You actually can see, like, if you look at silver here, look what's happened with silver. Silver actually ran up, hit resistance, came back down, ran up, and then now look what's happened there, and then down through there, right? So you can see that's what's going on with silver, like a bit of a short-term head and shoulder formation through there. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens. And you can see there's a lot of resistance around this level all through here, right? So there's a lot of resistance there, and you can see it's rejecting it through there. So we could quite see a bit of a pullback happening on the silver market there. And then last but least, for this quick little update for you guys, we're seeing the same thing happening with gold as well too. We're seeing a flattening formation, so I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see gold actually drop to the downside from here. You actually can see when you're looking at gold, this is the pattern that's actually happening with gold here. So on a short-term level, we're actually getting this sort of pattern, right? So we're getting this sort of movement up through there, right? And then we've obviously had this pattern that's going on through here, right? So we've got this sort of squeezing up pattern that's happening right now. But this is sort of like the roller coaster pattern, right? Because we did go up, and then now we're sort of doing that, but now look what's happening, we're flattening out. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see gold do something like that moving forward in the markets.